So what's up, y'all? I just want to make a quick video, something that I thought was extremely funny, but also very horrible in the same in the same breath. But another day, another set of Republican lies. Most importantly, lies about things that the former president has said. And it really kind of like baffles me how the Republicans have turned a lie into a language where they continue to gaslight people into believing, you know, what they're saying is even remotely true. Um, it's just baffling that you could lie with just impunity. And I know that all politicians lie. And that's something that I'm not, I'm not naive to the fact that politicians lie, but the way that the Republicans lie and the way they twist themselves into knots to try to push an agenda to try to provide cover for the former president. I just think it's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I think that if the Republican Party wasn't so extreme and so ridiculous, it actually would have appeal for people who had, just some idea of morals, standards, values. It would appeal to some folks, but the fact that what they say and what they do is just so outrageously, blatantly ridiculous and blatantly full of just lies and deceits. It's something that baffles me that people follow them. But this particular this particular video clip I'm going to show you guys is Donald Trump was asked a question about, well, he wasn't even asked, he was just asked a general question. And like most things, Donald Trump goes off on a tangent and he starts to talk about using the military to stop what he would call crazy leftists, to stop them from, you know, um, seemingly having a voice or, them disagreeing with him, that he would utilize and use the military in order to uh, stomp down any protests or any unrest. Something that has never really happened, that they would use the military to stop domestic issues, especially political issues. So Donald Trump, pretty much says that he would use the military and the National Guard to be able to stop crazy leftists from doing, from just not supporting him or protesting against him. Fast forward a couple of days later, JD Vance was asked a very simple question about uh, what did he feel about those comments? Does he believe that the president would actually do something like that? And what is absolutely like interesting is, instead of JD Vance just, just um distancing himself from the comments or just saying that the comments were just incorrect or whatever. He goes in a whole different direction. So I'm going to pull up both videos so you can take a look and you can kind of judge for yourself. What do you think and how do you respond to this type of just this type of blatant lies? Listen up.
What are you expecting? Joe Biden said he doesn't think it's going to be a peaceful election.
Well, he doesn't have any idea what's happening in Ralph as he spends most of his day sleeping. Uh, I think the bigger problem is the enemy from within, not even the people that have come in and destroying our country. By the way, totally destroying our country. The towns, the villages, they're being inundated. But I don't think they're the problem in terms of election day. I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military, because they can't let that happen.
How are you going to guard?
So, as you can clearly see, Donald Trump is stating that National Guard and the military should be used in order to handle these folks, these radical left folks. Now, let's see what JD Vance has to say about that very topic.
The enemy from within. Would a Trump administration use the military to go after people who oppose Donald Trump?
Oh, of course not. Of course not. Look,
I just want to stop it right there. Just a very basic question about something that Donald Trump said himself. Um, and the question was, do you believe that Donald Trump would do something like that? And as you can see, what his answer is, it is very, very specific and very, very unattached from the truth and unattached from reality. But in case you didn't hear it the first time, I'll give it to you again. Watch.
Enemy from within. Would a Trump administration use the military to go after people who oppose Donald Trump?
oh, of course not. Of course not. Look, when if you go back to the summer.
Pause. Look at this guy right here with the brick house shirt that is just so tore up about the question, that is just so hurt that this would even be a question. Not even really, I guess, understanding or even realizing or even knowing that this is something that Donald Trump said himself. He said they would use the military. So I mean, the Republican Party is just a party of gaslighting. They're the party of just lying. They're the party of just making stuff up. But I'll let JD Vance continue what he's gonna say. But totally dances around the question, just dismisses it, and then ends up going on a tangent about some other things that are important, but it just speaks to how just how the Republican Party, how somebody like JD Vance just twists himself into knots and makes himself just look like an unserious person, to be like, it's ridiculous. Or of course something would not happen. When Trump specifically said that it could happen, it should happen, and if we believe Trump's word, it will happen. But let's go again.
From within. Would a Trump administration use the military to go after people who oppose Donald Trump?
Oh, of course not. Of course not. Look, when if you go back to the summer. Look, ma'am, I'm glad you asked the question, because I think it's so preposterous. First of all,
wait, it's so preposterous. The question is preposterous, but Donald Trump is the one that said it. But it's preposterous to think that it could happen based on something that Donald Trump said with his own mouth.
So preposterous. First of all, ma'am, I'm glad you asked the question, because I think it's so preposterous. First of all, the biggest problem that we have in this country right now is that because of Kamala Harris, people can't afford groceries and housing. We've got to fix that problem. That's why Donald Trump and I are running.
A legitimate problem and a legitimate question if he was asked that. And he continues to go on, a tangent about the protests during Black Lives Matter, which is 4 years ago. I mean, talking about bringing up old stuff. I mean, the Black Lives Matter protest was in 2020. And it's not like people have not discussed that in excess about what happened. So to bring up something that that far removed as a reason, it's just nothing but a deflection, a total deflection. So let me get JD Vance off my screen. So so this video, like I said, it kind of just speaks to what the Republican Party has turned into. And the Republican Party actually could be useful in a two-party system, except that the Republican politicians are not living in the same reality that anyone is, and then their constituents are in a totally different reality than even those politicians are. It's just really just sad when you think about that. People will listen to these things and they will make their life choices based on being gaslit by the Republican Party. It's something that people should think about when they are casting that ballot. You may even be someone who is a fan of the former president, but how can you be a fan of the Republicans? How can you be a fan of them as a whole? It doesn't even make much sense to me. But everyone's entitled to their opinion. They're entitled to their vote. So I won't lecture anybody about that. But I just wanted to drop this video just to show a little bit just of the days of, just the day, the latest today live from the Republican Party. So until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.